Hey, my name's Candace. I'm a 31-year-old stay-at-home mom of two boys. My oldest is 8 years old. His name is Roman. And my youngest is Strength, and he is 4 years old. I share a room with both my boys. And this room is not the biggest room, but this is a room that I've learned to be grateful in. Now, to anyone else, this would seem weird, but to me, this has been a transition season for me. When I was in 2020, I was still in a relationship that was super toxic, super negative. My assets were tied to that relationship. My finances were dang near gone because we had everything tied together. And I knew it was time for me to leave. Not just because it wasn't a good relationship, but because it was turning into a negative environment for both of my two boys. And so I cried out to God. I remember having an argument with my ex at the time and running downstairs to the basement and screaming, God, I can't do this anymore. And he gave me a way of escape. Now, that way came with discomfort. I decided to move back in with my mom, and I had to rely on her help for quite some time before branching out into ways that I can make money for myself. I also had to get on government assistance and go through the process of even doing child support, which had its challenges too. But in all of that, God was keeping me. Now we co-parent, and it's still a lot, but I have healed so much. And in the process of that healing, I learned not only my value and my worth, but I learned that when we talk about toxic relationships, it's so easy to point fingers and have our mind completely focused on the person who's doing the wrong to us, rather than taking good inventory of what is making me think this is okay to walk in, to stand in, to stay in for such a long time. Now, God is so wonderful that He took that time to help me heal and restore my mind, but not everybody gets there. So let me teach you something I learned on my own with God in the quiet time of not being in a relationship. I learned that my lack of self-worth and my lack of knowing who God created me, fashioned me, purposed me to be, caused me to allow people to abuse me. That doesn't necessarily mean physically, but use me wrong. And I allowed a lot of behaviors that I would never allow now, simply because I didn't know who I was, simply because I thought that you just had to stick things out with people, even if they are showing you clear signs there is no honor or respect in the relationship. I also didn't know God's mind concerning me. And when I say that, I mean, I didn't know His intention for my life. So I didn't know He had better. I thought that relationship was the best I was going to get. I thought being with someone who I knew for that long was the best that I could ever get. But that was a lie too. And coming out of those lies, that is the beginning of freedom. It's not just deliverance. If you know what that is, you know what that is. It's also coming into agreement with the truth of what God has said, what He's spoken, and what He's revealed to you. That you are fearfully and wonderfully made, that you are more than a conqueror, that you have a hope and a future that He has already predestined for you. And that truth set me free. It made me free, I should say. I no longer believed all the lies He had told me, all the lies I told myself. I now had a hope that God had better intentions for me and my children, and that He will restore all of us, not just me and heal me, but He will also be there for my children. So in the journey now of being a single mom, living with my mom again, I have embraced the healing of every part of my life, not just my mind, my body, the way I eat, the way I talk, the way I see, all of it. I've embraced that change, and God has made me different. Now I no longer need a person. I desire to be with a person in a relationship, but I don't need them to feel fulfilled because I have God. That fulfillment everybody is chasing, to feel wanted, to feel needed, to feel like there's somebody that's always going to be there. For me, I found that with Jesus. And that security has kept me knowing that no matter what relationship I enter in the future and when I get married and all that stuff, I won't need them in the same way that I used to need my ex. Now I know I can depend on someone who will never leave, who will never fail me, and who will always be there holding my hand through every situation. This isn't a pity party video. This is just an encouragement to you if you've experienced this or you know someone who is, that there is hope on the other side. Your mindset just must change, and you must desire what God has for you. Everything changed when I cried out to God and I said, God, I can't do this anymore. Set me free. And He answered. The answering doesn't always look like how you would imagine. I will say that. Living with my two boys in this room can be uncomfortable at times, but it has made me all the more grateful because though my physical has not all changed where I'm living, my mind, my heart, my soul, my spirit has.